Let's just get into it. Have a good trip made by Q. And just like the other one, you also have impossible. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's the save. There are also 3 others in the qoqoqo series which get to be much harder. Yeah, that's what I saw. That's precisely why I didn't choose them. Because I don't want it to be harder. I mean, I could play them some other day, just not today, you know. Today is not the right idea. But yeah, that's okay. Now, I could have tried this one on impossible, but that is never a good idea. Especially since I don't know if in impossible this thing will have like no checkpoints at all, which is never a good idea. qoqoqo is the next game I was going to play for the Culture 2 challenge. Well, the normal qoqoqo game seems like it's almost 60 points of difficulty, I think. Which, I mean, could be worse, but I guess it's not... Wait, cannot you... Wait, is that champ possible? I have a feeling that champ is possible. Maybe not, though. No, I think the wall perfectly stops you. It might not be. And if it is, maybe you... Well, I don't know. Not gonna pretend I will know how to do it. Well, that was also not the right champ. No, you're supposed to champ from the very top. Not from there. My bad, my bad. You go here, and then up, and then down here, and double jump. So I want to see, I mean, if the whole game I see that it's extremely easy, I will try impossible. But yeah, even, no matter how much easy you think a game is, the fact that if you die once, you're all the way back to the beginning is... not particularly attractive, I will say. Like, it also adds a layer of nervousness, right? A layer of I really can't fuck up. And I mean, you end up doing it anyways. See, having something like that in your mind at all times will inevitably affect your performance. Also, this is some very interesting pathing, I gotta say. Like, the pathing is not inherently obvious. Which means that... you know, it looks cool as a decoration. I also wonder, because unlike the previous game, it doesn't seem like every 10 floors you are guaranteed a theme change. I wonder when the general theme is gonna change. I do wonder. Yeah, don't worry. It also seems that it was a tradition to have the checkpoints activate simply by touching them, right? That's exactly what it's happening here and in the previous game too. You just touch the checkpoint and it activates. So I wonder how many of those had that. I mean, it's It's an interesting thing to have. The fact that I'm dying in this screen is quite sad, I gotta say. So right there, not sure where to jump to. Here? Oh, okay. It's quite interesting how non-obvious at first glance, at least the pathing is. It's a very cool thing. I mean, maybe I should suck at it, but like this requires quite a lot of creativity, right? Well, maybe not this floor in particular, but the other ones, most likely. So the question is if it's gonna change the overall theme at floor 20 or not. Will ya? Or will ya not? Well, there is one more floor to find out. Now, differently from the previous game here, since the saves are just floating dots, you cannot tell which one is supposed to be a wood save and which one isn't. Because if you were able to know that, you will know how long you are intended to go before hitting a checkpoint in impossible mode. I'm actually failing that jump. That's pretty sad. Not that that matters since it's either all or nothing for saves in this game. Oh, okay. So this game basically has no saves on impossible mode. Well, yeah, in that case, I guess trying impossible mode, it's clearly not gonna be a good idea. So yeah, I guess I shouldn't do that. Alright. It seems that the theme changes every 20 floors. Well, and this is... It's a little bit hard to see the spikes with that background on the bottom being almost the same color, I gotta say. But hey, they are still discernible. You can still tell them apart. I fucked up. My bad. Well, the question is, if after beating this game, well, it depends on the amount of time remaining, but I don't know if I should try Suma Dilats or should end the stream. I think that, I mean, I'm not sure if this prediction is gonna come true, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna finish this game at the 2.5 hour mark of the stream. And if that's the case, playing Suma is a little bit pointless, because you can pretty much get only one good run in. So I mean, in the case of Suma, where everything is so random, I don't think it matters that much, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just better to rest from Suma, I guess. Just take a little break from that. But man, it will be glorious to finally be able to beat that game. After struggling for so long. Well, the other day I was relatively close to doing it. But it didn't happen. Like, the game just doesn't want to be beaten, no matter what. But yeah, that's fine. We will see how much time is left. Yeah, I don't know. My prediction, as I said, is the 2.5 hour mark. Hey, hard to tell. Wait, I'm an idiot. I came back to the beginning. You were supposed to fall down and double jump in this square. My bad. Oof, he almost didn't double jump there. Definitely the pathing in this game is very strong. Like it's very well made, without a doubt. Like, I honestly cannot come up with this pathing. I know that it might look super basic, but it's something I clearly wouldn't be able to do. Guess my creativity is quite limited in that regard. But that's okay. We will see what people will think of my level design if I manage to finish my fun game. I really wonder. My opinion on it is not really the highest though. But yeah. I just fear for how long the boss of my fun game could take me to do. It could potentially take me an insane amount of time. Oh, I don't think... Was that the intended path? I think that diagonal was not the intended path. Well, that's fine. It's fine by me. Also like how chill the game is made. Like, aside from obviously the platforming being very simple, it's the fact that the music is very peaceful. I wouldn't be surprised if the music is completely timed to be able to finish it by the time that you finish the actual zone. I mean, assuming you don't die. As you said earlier, it's meant to be played in impossible. Wow, nice dead. For this type of things is that we cannot have impossible mode in my case. This type of damn deaths will be extremely numerous. And I mean, I will assume that's the case for most people. And see, for example, even more in places like this one, where you have to gate jump twice in a row. That's a recipe for disaster. Right? It's apparently the last floor of this zone. Okay. I don't know why I kept going. I guess those spikes look very alluring after all. Alright. And speaking of alluring, look at those shiny spikes. That looks pretty cool. Hey Lilo, how is it going? You always first try spikes? Well, spikes. I mean gate champs. Will be something. Double down plane appearance? Oh, I didn't see it. I guess I wasn't paying attention, my bad. It's okay, don't worry about it. I mean, it's pretty easy to lose yourself into the shining spikes. I mean, just look how shiny they are. After going through gate training, you can do 100 in a row. Tell that to the Crimson Needle players. Pretty sure there are some screens in Crimson Needle that make you do like 30 gate jumps in a row. And even experienced Needle players sometimes have trouble with that. So I don't think I will be so sure. Personally, I will have my doubts. I cannot say by experience, because that will mean playing Crimson Needle, and that's not something that I'm willing to do. Those players didn't do gate training. Well, that is pretty much gate training. That one screen with all the gate jumps is essentially that. I can do 100 gates in a row, but not if I'm thinking about the gates. Well, yeah, that will be a little bit hard to do. To do gate jumps without thinking about them. I'm afraid that... yeah, that requires some, you know, some illumination type of stuff. I think it might be possible without an extreme amount of meditation, indeed. They are like easier if you are not thinking about it. You know, I know that, it's just that it's pretty hard to not think about it. Because the thing is that, you know, you're kinda doing it. At least when you get practice in them. I don't know, I cannot really say that that's something that I plan on doing, so... Something that I can only experience through the experience of other people. Because I don't think you're gonna catch me dead playing Crimson Needle. Any of them. So yeah. On the Korean Needle League, know that the Japanese and Chinese community in I Wanna Be the Guy is a lot more, you know, prominent in I Wanna games than the Korean one, right? Especially, well, I guess the Chinese and Japanese players are equally as invested, probably. But yeah, I don't think the Korean players are... Like, there are that many of them. Well, when I say players, I inevitably... Sorry. I also mean creators. Sorry. Ugh. In Crimson Needle 1 there is also a 16 pixel every 2 gates in the screen you're talking about, which is the main problem, and it overshadows the gates. Yeah, that sounds lovely. There are a lot of Korean players. Well, but I don't think they are at the level... at the... like the amount that you have in Japan and China. So then again, well, China is a big country, so China is probably gonna overshadow most countries in everything, because there are just simply that many of them. And when it comes to Japan, I don't know about players, but when it comes to I Wanna Be the Guy creators, there are so many Japanese ones. There are a lot. You shift your gates by a few pixels? Surely you do. Wait. Oh, you just fall. Sorry, my bad. I was overthinking that. See, there are champs like, for example, this one. That if I were to play this on impossible mode, there is no way I wouldn't choke them. Like, it will happen. This one is just in the middle of the game. Oh, that's bad. There are more top Korean players than Chinese ones. But I'm talking overall. Besides, I'm pretty sure that in something like I think saying top player is a little bit of an exaggeration, because it's not like it's a competition. I mean, well, there can be speedrunning competitions and shit like that, but I Wanna Be the Guy is something very individual. Like, it's not like we're talking about something like Street Fighter, where obviously there are top players simply because they all compete against each other to see which one is the best one, because obviously it's a competitive game. With I Wanna, I don't know if using the expression top players will be very accurate. Because as I said, it's not a competition. You can say that there are a lot of good players, but yeah. Then again, I guess it's just semantics more than anything. In a country where being a pro player excludes you from military server, that's pretty nice. But yeah, Korea has a mandatory military service. So it's interesting that the pro players don't get drafted. The community made an Elo rating, not a show. But how many people are interested in that? Yes, that's the thing. You kinda have to measure things in something that a lot of people care about. Like, for example, in Street Fighter 6, a lot of people care about the master rank, which is like the highest rank you can attain. And inside that master rank, you actually have a leaderboard that, you know, it's ordered as you will expect it to be ordered. So if people in that leaderboard are very high, most people understand that unless they are a cheater, most people understand that whoever is there is very high because people respect that ranking system, right? Well, obviously since it's the official one made by Capcom, but in something like I Wanna Be the Guy, I don't know about that. I don't know how many people will be interested in that. Obviously I don't know them, but for example, BBF, will he be interested in that? I don't know, but he's clearly the best Boshi player, and he's amazing at fan games because he also have run games like Camellia, if I'm not mistaken, and other ones, so he's definitely very good at fan games. But does he care about something like that? Because if he doesn't care about something like that, it's kind of like the whole concept loses value. Obviously it's not just him, but I mean, if multiple people don't really care, I don't think it might be very valuable, right? Wait, how do I do that? Oh, I jump here. Know how I didn't see that. Yeah, as I say, the pathing in this game is very well done. It's not obvious at first glance. You have to pay a little bit of attention. And here you are supposed to, yeah, jump there first and then there. Oof, that was close. Okay, there you go. Boom. Okay. Amazing pathing. In Korea, a high Elo rating account is like owning a Ferrari. Well, the difference is that, you know, anyone can have a high Elo without needing money. Because as long as you put in the effort, you can do it. To own a Ferrari, on the other hand, I'm not so sure if a lot of effort is enough. It's not really a competition, I just mean like the people who can do the extremely hard stuff. Yeah, I know. It's just that top player, I think, well, at least to me, the concept of top player implies there is a competition. Because having top players, it means that there are, you know, players that are below that. And usually those players are below that because those top players are objectively better. But in something like fan games, it's also very spread. You could have needle games, you could have adventure games, and you could have avoidances. And for example, what you need to be good at a needle game, what you need to be good at an avoidance, and what you need to be good at a speed running of an adventure game, for example, are completely different skill sets. Obviously, you can be good at all of them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it will be very hard to be objectively better in all of that, so top isn't really the right word. Yeah, but as I say, I guess at the end of the day, it's just semantics. I guess if you wanna call it top player, it's not a bad term. But yeah, every time I hear top player, the first thing that comes to my mind is something competitive. But yeah, I guess it's also because of the way that I personally consume I wanna be the guy, right? What I do is very secluded, very individual. I don't really pay attention to what other people, well, unless you are BBF, I do pay attention to you because I like the way you play. But unless you are BBF, I don't pay attention to what other people do, you know? So it's something that it's very individualistic in my case. I only pay attention to what I do. Yeah. Hard to BBF, indeed. Yeah, BBF is insane. It really is in a different league. Truly. In a different dimension even. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Oh, it's that, okay. Yeah. Well, it also doesn't help that he runs my favorite fun game, you know. The fact that he runs my favorite fun game obviously makes me interested in it. In the speedruns. Even though I usually am not interested in speedruns. But a game like Boshi really requires a level of skill that a lot of other speedruns come close to, in the sense that it's hard to get the world record. And well, you can say the same thing in Boshi, but in Boshi just doing what he does, even if he got like a run that is worse than his PB by 10 minutes, already being able to do something like that is crazy. That's something that not many other games have. Because usually video games in general, the ones that tend to be the hardest don't tend to be speedrun material. The biggest example being Danmaku games. You don't really speedrun those games. You can obviously have a showcase at a speedrun event, but you don't really speedrun anything there. You just beat the game, which is already hard enough, and you cannot speedrun it because regardless of what you do, with some very few optimizations, you're just gonna beat the game at almost the same time as a non-speedrunner, you know. And the other type of hard games usually being, you know, stuff like rhythm games. You also don't speedrun rhythm games, you know. Boshi has a surprising amount of difference between speedrun and normal playthrough. Well, there are a lot of tricks that you normally wouldn't do on a normal playthrough. I don't know what the question marks from Draenor are coming from, though. What is bothering you? Did I say something inappropriate? I don't think I said anything inappropriate, but just in case, let me know. Did I accidentally say a forbidden word? I didn't realize. If I say it, so my bad. I didn't mean to. Boshi looks like an enjoyable spike game for a normal play. Well, it is an enjoyable game. I mean, it's still my favorite fun game even after all this time, so obviously I will find it enjoyable. Ouch. And now I'm worried about Draenor. What caused that reaction? That's the problem. Every time I see something like that, I'm afraid that I accidentally offended someone. It already happens sometimes that I say something and I'm like, yeah, it's no big deal, but someone gets offended. It's not that common, doesn't happen often, but I don't know, it's hard to tell. What might be not a big deal for you will be a big deal for someone else. Speedruns are very different from casual playthroughs. Yeah, but that's what Opanker said. You know? That's exactly what he said. You accidentally press the key combination to send nukes to Bolivia? Well, maybe I send them the nukes. You know? I told my address them. Unbelievable. Don't get offended. It's fine. I'm referring to you talking about other games. But bro, the other games that I talk to are Danmaku games. Danmaku games are not that, like, you cannot speedrun Danmaku games. I mean, you can try, it's just that the speedrun of a Danmaku game is like the most dry thing you can possibly imagine, if that's what you were talking about. Like things like Danmaku games and reading games, you could theoretically speedrun them, but it's pretty much the same as not speedrunning them. Because it's already hard enough to do what they casually do. Like, if you want to speedrun a game, like for example Touhou Sits, what you will be doing is doing the exact same thing that a lunatic no-bomb player will do. Or, well, not even that, you will even want to use the bombs. So you will just be doing a playthrough. Those are just two genres. Well, yeah, but I was talking about them. Yeah, obviously games like platforming games are things that usually get speedrun to hell and back. But yeah, Danmaku and rhythm games are not. And they are not the only one. The only ones. Racing games are also games that you have things like Mario Kart. Like some people speedrun Mario Kart with all the shortcuts and shit. Sure. But if we're talking about racing games like Gran Turismo, yeah, some people like doing 10-hour speedruns, sure, but at that point it's not much different than a normal playthrough, you know? So some genres are not made for speedrunning. So that's why I was saying that at that point there is not much of a competition, because the competition instead of that will be getting the highest score. Well, in racing games it will be the fastest lap instead of the highest score. Danmaku games are surprisingly expensive here in Japan, not a lot of players. Well, if you're talking about the arcade cabinets, considering that the arcade attendance is probably lower and lower, it's not a surprise that they will be a lot more expensive than they were in like the 90s. Didn't catch that bit? Okay. But yeah. The Batten Kaito speedrun that takes like 5 days. Get shut down by Twitch for human on stream for too long. Yeah, you cannot have streams longer than 2 hours on Twitch. If you do, you will need to reset the stream. So otherwise, you ain't getting shit. Oh, there you go. So I gotta say that a lot of these screens are very highly chokeable. Like a lot of these screens have some jumps that will make you die easily, and these are long screens, mind you. You know? I guess that the game will probably be beaten in the perfect time to finish the stream, but... Oh, wait, no. That's if you want to do the... If you want to do the plane, that I don't want to do it, so... Yeah, not a good idea. Boom. Racing games are literally some of the best speedrun games. Yeah, but it depends on what your standard for that is, because if you're talking about the typical card games like Crash Team Racing, Mario Kart, stuff like that, usually yes, tends to be the case because they are made in a way that, you know, they reward game knowledge because there are a lot of shortcuts and shit like that. But if you're talking about something like, I don't know, Gran Turismo or NASCAR Heat or Assetto Corsa, those games, there's not much you can do there. I mean, you can, just I don't think it will be very interesting to do so. Because at that point you will basically just be hot lapping. And I mean, at that point, just do a competition of hot lapping, or even better, a LAN race. You know? Well, LAN or online, whatever you prefer. CTR Papu skip 3 times in a row is pretty lit. Well, in Crash Team Racing, there are a lot of shortcuts that are super cool to do. I mean, it's just a game that is cool to play no matter what. And especially if you know the tracks well, and if you are good with the drift boosts, it's very fun to play that well. Can you do the Papu skip in the last U-turn? Yeah, it's not that hard to do. Well, at least it's not hard to do in the remake. I don't remember if in the original it was that easy. But in the remake it's extremely easy to do it. I mean, it's extremely easy assuming you have the speed, obviously. But yeah, I think it also wasn't that hard in the original, was it? I don't remember because it's been a long time, so I can't really tell. Something that I should do is play, well, again, the remake of Crash Team Racing and try to go for the developer ghosts. Just that those developer ghosts are in a different level. They are very hard to beat. Ouch. I'm not sure how to do that jump, actually. Am I even supposed to do that jump? I cannot jump up there, so it has to be here. Oh, I can do it from the bottom instead of was trying to make it from the top. That's a lot harder. Whoop. And then whoop. Racing Simulator has some awesome speedruns. The skill ceiling for those games are higher than a lot of other games. Well, it wouldn't be only the skill ceiling, it will be the bad shit ceiling as well, you know. Like, it's not the same for someone to use a sheet 29 than using, you know, a more elaborate racing wheel. It's obviously not necessary either. You can go very far with a sheet 29, but yeah. Wait a second. Am I on the wrong spot? Or do you want me to do that? No, I don't think you want me to do that, right? Alright, let's try to look a little bit better. Where do you want me to go? Because you want me to do this. And then what? Oh, jump up here and then here. Okay, gotcha. And then... there you go, Tim. I think I'm gonna go to see if I find anything I like on Akihabara second-hand shops, not to collect, to hang on the wall as art. I'm doing a collage of SNES games. Wait, what do you mean a collage? Like you plan on playing a lot of Super Nintendo games or what? I don't know if that corner jump was intended. But I don't know what else was intended there. I'll take it for now. Problem will be is if I need to repeat it. That just comes down to personal preference. Yeah, but it's also true that, for example, there are things like having a racing pedal that has a load cell, that is something that adds a resistance when you press it. That's something that you might think that it's just something to make you more comfortable and not really needed. But it's something that really increases the feel of you with your car and allows you to take corners a lot more naturally. And yeah, obviously it's not necessary technically, but I feel like at some point it kinda becomes like the endless discussion about automatic and manual transmission. That, you know, like you can go pretty far with automatic transmission, But in most racing categories, if you are not using manual transmission, you are not gonna do it faster than the ones that actually use it. And with with things like load cell, it's something that the precision of the braking is very important to do corners more accurately or not. And at the end of the day, it might be a difference of milliseconds. But if you add a millisecond in every single corner, and if we're talking about multiple laps, we are talking about like 10 seconds, which is a lot for a race. So yeah, in the sim racing world can be very interesting in that regard, because some things are not necessary, sure, but some of them, without them, I think it's very hard to go anywhere. If your idea is to be the best, if you just want to casually play, well, no, obviously. You can even use a racing wheel that doesn't even have force feedback if you just want to casually have fun. If you want to be the best of the best, I'm not so sure if a G29, and I say G29 because it's probably the cheapest racing wheel that still uses force feedback. I don't think you can get super far with that. Far enough to be a very good player, yes, but far enough to be the best in the world, I don't know. Then again, not like I can talk by experience, because I obviously don't have racing wheels, but yeah, something that it's an interesting topic, as interesting as knowing where to go here. If I go here, I think so, yeah. A literal college and putting them on a frame and hanging them as art. Oh, you're not gonna play them then. Hey Colo, how is it going? The best players I have seen have like 15k rigs. Yeah, but that also, you don't really need 15k either. There are a lot of things that are definitely just there to make the racing more realistic. Like for example, those chairs that move like up, down, left, right. That doesn't necessarily make you faster. It makes it more immersive without a doubt, but I don't think it will make your lap times better. Not everyone that speedruns is aiming for world records. Well, that's true as well, but yeah. If you have the time to get to the point you can get a world record, you can get a shop to afford the equipment for it. Well, yeah, but if you get a shop, I'm assuming that the time you have to practice is a lot less, you know? Because at that point, I mean, it depends. For example, I mean, I'm not sure, but I think that I remember either reading or hearing BBF talking about his shop. So even if he has a shop, he still didn't stop magically being the best Boshi player, you know? So it is true that a shop doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot go for world records anymore, but in something like sim racing, it's hard to tell, because there are also people whose job is racing professionally. So I don't know. It's a very competitive field. Physical games to play, you play with ROMs? Well, yeah, obviously I do, but just talking about if you buy them physically, that you could use them to play. Obviously I wouldn't buy them physically, because as you say, I play with ROMs, but yeah. If I bought them physically, I probably would want to play them physically as well. You know? Do you need programming socks for sim racing? No, though there are some people that use special sim racing socks. You know that there are actual brands that sell socks specifically for sim racing? It's pretty funny. But yeah, it's something you can definitely do, since obviously sim racing is something that you do at the comfort of your house, so you obviously don't need to use something like shoes. Not to mention that using shoes, unless you exclusively use them for sim racing, you will inevitably dirty the pedals, you know? And that jump is not that easy to do. Playing with 30-40 years hardware is a recipe for disaster? Well, that depends. I mean, you can get some very cool glitches that way. You can get a unique experience that you wouldn't get by emulating. Gotta think about it that way. You know? The unique glitch experience. The hardware glitch. You know? Will be a very magical moment. Magical and unique. Wait, what? Oh, here. And then, wait. Then here? Hey, okay, there it is. One thing I can tell you is that they sound better. Emulation of analog circuits is not so great. Not really sure what you're talking about, but Pokemon has speedrunners that catch every Pokemon using all kind of glitches. Yeah, but those tend to be software glitches. I'm talking about hardware glitches. With usually they are... Usually if there is a hardware, like a physical problem with a cartridge, it doesn't tend to glitch, it tends to not work. But there are some rare cases where you can have a cartridge that it's fucked up enough to glitch something and still have the game run. Which happened to me. Like, I remember having a Sega Genesis game, well, Columns 3, you know that game? That game sometimes glitch in ways that you cannot replicate them by software. Like, it did some very weird stuff with the columns, that there will be glitched tiles, and you could still play, well, you could still play theoretically. You cannot beat the game because it's an unplayable mess, but the point is that it was still functional, and you could see the glitch happen. Well, that's something that you cannot do if you emulate. Wow, nice miss. Almost makes me want to try that Sphincter jump, but probably not. Looks a little bit too hard. Okay, Columns 3. I mean, it is a very good game, yes. It is indeed a masterful game. It's pretty funny though. Wait, hold up. Especially if you play with the real Neo Geo or Capcom boards with Q sound. Oh, you mean the analog sound? Yeah. See you later. All right. Have a good. Well, in your case, it's day. If you're in Japan, that's daytime right now. So yeah. Have a good day, Lilo, and thanks for hanging out. But yeah, I was out to say about Columns. It's pretty funny that it's one of those games where, even though I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, that at the end of the day, Columns 3 is very clearly the best game in the series, and it's not even close. See, games like that I usually try to be like, you know, yeah, I can play Columns 1 and 2 first. But yeah, in comparison with Columns 3, those two games are... I mean, I wouldn't say they are bad, but they are quite mediocre, to say the least. It's definitely a before and after. It's not like games like Puyo Puyo, where all of them are very solid, and obviously let's not even talk about Mario Kart, where every game is amazing. In Columns, it's not like that. Oh, I get it. You want me to go here. And then... yeah, okay. Drop... I have no clue how I died to that. Like, really? I mean, if I have that later... if I have died later, it will make a lot more sense. But dying there... that's very weird. very weird spot to get killed. Alright, how about you don't get killed there then? The problem is that I was paying attention to the platform I was gonna land. So I wasn't really paying attention where I currently was at. Yeah, we are getting close to the end. Very close to the end. There is only, counting this one, 3 floors remaining. Yeah, I gotta say that... well, the same thing that... wait, what does it say? Pasu... a tiger. A tiger? In what language is that? Huh. Well, I don't know what language that is, but yeah, I hope whatever it means it's not calling me a mean thing. Because it could happen, you know. It could be... wait, what? Really? You should jump into it? Was that the intended path? Chinese? Well, yeah, the Su makes it look like it is Chinese, but... you gotta understand that when it comes to Chinese, there are a lot of languages that come straight from Chinese. Well, Japanese is one of them, but I don't mean that. I mean languages like Vietnamese, for example, or like Taiwanese. Languages like that are pretty much Chinese dialects. I mean, not really. A Chinese dialect is another thing, but it could come from those. Oh wait, I'm supposed to go here. Well, I mean, yeah, it probably is a... no, it's not even a skip. There is no reason to go to the right. But yeah, this is the last floor in the game. Or, well, I'm assuming it's the last floor in the game. Because, you know... I'm assuming this is a 100 floor game. like it was advertised. Wait, hold up. Oh, you actually have to go down here to then jump to the left. Yeah, no, that jump is quite precise. Well, not that precise, really. Okay. Now, it's pretty clear that doing this in impossible difficulty, well, also as advertised, would have been impossible. Because, I mean, I thought that the screens would all be like the first one, but yeah, screens like this, where, you know, I even struggle a little bit with just by playing casually. This type of screens, there is no way I can somehow, you know, manage to not get killed a single time. Alright, and then once we are here, we want to drop all the way down and double jump. There you go. Huh. Nice. Man, this was a pretty cool game. Because obviously it was easy, but the way the pathing is made, as I was mentioning throughout the whole playthrough, like, it's very creative pathing. The fact that you cannot immediately tell where to go and you actually have to look for a couple seconds, that's not something that's that easy to do. Like, making a jump look possible at first, but then double checking and realizing it's not possible, those sort of things are not easy to do at all. Like, you definitely need a lot of creativity to do that. And the whole game was like that. Like, almost every single screen in the game was something that you couldn't predict at first what the right path is. So yeah, well, very well done, Mr. Q. I know you have other games, but before I play those games, I probably will have to beat my current, well, the current game that I'm playing, that is another hard 100 floor games. Yeah, the other games made by this guy are actually hard. This is basically an exception. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Very well done. So, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.